Red Nation, are we here? The best show for Chicago sports.
Is he saying "get over here" in the background?
Like said, it's touchdown Bears. What?
Oh, I think it sounded like he said "get over here." I'm about to say Mortal Kombat, huh?
You missed that tremendously.
You missed that tremendously.
Like,
too late to edit it now.
Here.
Hey, listen. It's I was about to say it's Monday. God.
Oh yeah. He
you having a tough week, my boy. You're having a tough week. Y'all don't drop some C-Reds in the chat in this mug, man. What the heck was that we saw last night, boys? Hey, Ringo, we coming for you.
Hey man, y'all MVP gotta go back to school on she back to school today, but she ain't gonna be there Friday.
Hey man, you reusing other people's jokes. Anyway, hey, we gonna break down this Bulls game. Of course, y'all know we gonna get into a little bit of the MVP for the Chicago Bulls here, Diana DeRozan. Shout out to her, dominating the game. Is she the greatest fan of all time? She might be.
Gotta be.
She might be, bro.
Sitting in front of her.
No, my dad's DeMar. There was like one dude. It was the camera guy. The guy in front of her was the camera guy.
No, it was like four. It was like four. She was like 4 rows back, man.
I don't think so. I think she was like a solid 2.5.
Like 4 rows back. I was like, man, if she's screaming like that behind my ear, it's gonna be a problem.
Hey, listen, who you gonna have a problem with? Her daddy got the power to get people ejected from the game.
You don't have to eject me because she's disturbing my peace. How about that?
Hey, listen, hey. I appreciate y'all for showing love, man. If y'all don't hit that like button at this point, your mom. Shout out to everybody who's in here, man. Bulls Nation, we actually got the dub. What the heck am I doing? Kid's supposed to be running the show. Kid just took a back seat today. He's just like, what's going on, brother?
Hey, man, listen, I was going to let you do your thing, but hey, what's up? Let's do it. Let's talk about it.
Let's do it.
By the way, I want you all to know that this is how Wednesdays is not my day. Wednesdays, I'm not on the live serving the Lord.
Good stuff.
So when 6 o'clock rolled around, I checked the score. I saw Siakam had 19. I saw we were down, and it's the first quarter. I was like, yeah. So I didn't check it again to the end of it. Pleasantly surprised. Have to go back and watch that game again. Pleasantly surprised, but I want to break it down with my brothers. I'm gonna start with Stefan and Don because this means it has a lot of implication for him real quick. What did you see? What did you feel? See, Red baby, what did you see?
That's why you pay him the $215. That's absolutely why you pay him the $215. Zach LaVine showed you when healthy. It was a lot of questions. Zach LaVine last night showed you when healthy. He's absolutely can step into the role of being that guy. And he was absolutely that guy. Last night, the man had 9 points in the first half, comes out in the second half and absolutely dominates, giving you 30 plus. DeMar chipped in when he could, but I would like to say, I told y'all this yesterday, P. Will was the MVP defensively in that game because when he absolutely started to clamp down and Billy shifted with that double, there was absolutely nothing Nick Nurse did to adjust. And I told Pat in the first half, it was times literally they were giving Siakam the ball in the post, and it was either Caruso or Pat Bev. It was like either I'm gonna make this pass, either I'm gonna make this pass or I'm not going to make the pass. I'm going to wait and then just go to work. And that was all he did in the first half. It wasn't until Billy adjusted and P. Will really started to clamp down that they really changed that game. So P. Will absolutely deserves his flowers today because if it was not for P. Will, the Bulls do not win that game, I believe, me personally. So I just got to get that out the way right now.
Pat, I know you was up late rewatching the game. I'm
rewatching it again right now, like legit.
Hey, this is a man that takes his craft seriously. This is the reason why blessings are coming this way. What did you see
blessings
both times?
The one thing I will say to Steph's credit, there is something that is coming in P. Will. Paul, whoa.
There is something coming to P. Will's development.
No,
You're right.
Why are you repeating it?
No.
That's exactly what I said.
No.
There's something there's something happening with P. Will's development that we saw display last night.
Man, yo. Oh God. All right.
That was a double scratch.
That
was a double scratch. That's crazy to start the morning that way. It's like 9:08. There's something that's happening with P. Will's development. I saw that last night. I saw that last night. When P. Will was attacking the bucket offensively, right? Shots weren't falling for him, different things like that. But what I will say is this. He's creating open looks. He's attacking and he's finding himself open shots. He's understanding the moment that he needs to be in, both offensively and defensively. He was a very key part. It's more on the defensive end last night, but I was very impressed. Like really go back and watch P. Will in that game. And I mean, like it is multiple times where you see him just create an open look for himself, find a lane, be able to get downhill. Those are things we weren't seeing from him earlier. Good to see some development from P. Will. I thought Kobe White's shot selection in that second quarter can't be overstated. I thought he did an excellent job finally getting the offense rolling a little bit more, trying to get the Bulls back into it. I mean, realistically, the Bulls cut it to 8, and then Fred VanVleet hits a half-court heave that puts them up 11 again, right? And so you feel a little worse going into the half because you're down 11, but you saw in the second quarter that the Bulls started to get things back rolling. And then finally, I mean, listen, it's like Steph said, that's why you pay him $215. That is why you pay him $215 million over 5, because Zach LaVine put on an absolute show last night. And here's the thing. I don't know if people realize this. I don't know if people saw this. I don't know if they watched the game as many times as I do. When Zach goes to the bucket, there's not much that can stop him. Jakob Poeltl was flying around on the floor. Siakam getting bumped out of the way. How he finishes with power and finesse needs to be talked about. He's a player that you can build around. He's a player that you can develop a team around. I understand, right? Listen, I started off last night's live call saying, hey, we sucked. We might as well root for him now. You have to take what you can out of what we're seeing. Doesn't mean we're gonna win versus Miami, right? Like I'm gonna talk that talk. Like we finna cook them. LeBron ain't walking through that door.
LeBron ain't got
D-Wade ain't walking through that door.
D-Wade ain't got to.
Chris Bosh ain't walking through that door. You coming to war with Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson.
Duncan ain't finna play.
Yeah, you coming to Tyler Hero and Yurtsevin.
Nah, we got Tyler and Bam. We good.
No. Dangerous.
Let us see it though. Let us see it.
But I just felt like, right, like you have to take from what we saw last night and get the most that you can from it. To me, what we saw last night was a Patrick Williams who was confident in his shot, finding open looks, developing open shots. That's something we haven't seen much this season. We've seen we saw Zach LaVine who was confident in where he was at on the floor, attacking the bucket. He felt the shot going. He, of course, had a couple of jaying in his face moments. Gotta love that. And then you saw the other guys fill in well. Those are the things you want to see. Still a ton of stuff to me that you got to add to this team, but those are the things that you want to see the Chicago Bulls continue to develop.
I had a chance to rewatch this game, and it's a couple of things I saw. One, Zach finally getting the calls. And it's been happening as of late. Zach has changed his entire approach, though. There's one part of the season, a long stretch of the season, where Zach settled for that 3 a lot. And when he finally started to attack the paint, he wasn't getting the calls. Now he's getting the calls. In fact, if you look at the free throws attempted, he has 15. There's not another person on the team over 5. Most of the free throws went through him. But that also means that he was being active. All right. And we see what the second half looked like. But that's what your star players need to do.
The good getting active, by the way. Good getting active. The good getting active.
good getting active, right? And that's what your star players have to do. Knowing when to turn it on, knowing when to be aggressive, knowing how to get to the line. Those are the things that Zach didn't have pieced together earlier this season that he's absolutely come. And that's a product of playing with the DeMar. And that's the benefit of having someone with that type of experience on your team. And so I love the maturation of everything that he's been able to put together and just see his game evolve. Like, how many times have we said, hey, this is Zach's time. Zach needs to take this particular leap. And now you have it. When you give that individual that type of opportunity to do it, you see it. That's what I saw. I particularly looked at his movement. I saw him get pissed. He got pissed and was like, all right, no.
We still trying to figure out
who
he was yelling at. He had a
oh yeah, he went to the bench yelling at somebody. I remember
the specific play. He came down. I think he got the steal. Was going to drive it, winded up pivoting and shooting the three off the balance and cashing. Came back to the timeout and was yelling at somebody.
I don't know who he was yelling. I think there might have been. I think Gucci ref might have been over there. So I don't know if it was the ref he was yelling at or one of his teammates. But hey, listen, like that's what we need. Like, the one thing that
need that type of energy.
The one thing that I still question with this team is the leadership. Right, I question who's right. Like the fact that Pat Bev can come in and instantly be a vocal leader on this team, and everybody just all of a sudden starts to play basketball better. That is a problem, right? Your highest paid player isn't your most vocal leader, which is fine. That's not always the case. More times than not, it's not, right? Like Draymond's the vocal leader on the Golden State Warriors, but Stephen Curry talk. you in the wrong spot. Stephen Curry gonna let you know. Right, like I don't think that there's many situations like what the Bulls had before in the NBA, and that's the part that concerns me. Right, like the Bulls had Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose didn't say nothing to nobody. He led by his actions. Perfect. He's the best player on the team. You lead by your actions. Joakim Noah might punch you in the throat. There's not many dynamics like that in the NBA anymore.
I think this is the game.
I feel like we've said this is the game so much this season, though. Like,
well, we've said it so much, but
if we say this is the game one more time, Triple H is gonna walk through that door. That's who's coming next.
But the stakes have never been higher. The playoffs and by extension play in at this point. This is where your name is made. Yeah. Right. And so this is where, and you heard DeMar say it, he carried us. He's our leader. Like DeMar is pretty much telling him, hey, he's the guy now.
Yeah.
That's what you need. When your team establishes you as the guy, that's your green light. Go.
Yeah.
They need you when you're aggressive. And he said in his press conference, when he's aggressive, that type of energy, is infectious. It gets it permeates the rest of the team. And at this point, they start to go. That's what you need. So now that he's starting to realize that, hey, this is the game. Now, that doesn't mean that every time he decides to get aggressive, he's going to put up 39 points. Right? There's very few people in the history of the game that has been that, like, just flip it on like that. There's very few people in the history of the game. I need people to stop that.
There's a lot more now, though. There's a lot more now. In the modern NBA, almost every team in this league has one guy that can go for 30 a night.
So there's a difference between you having, 20 to 25 at the end of a game, but you still take an L versus I'm going to win this game. And it's going to be loud.
Well, yeah,
that's
very different. That's different. I'm just saying from the scoring aspect, right? Like, listen, the Wizards lose a lot of games. There's not many people that can stand in front of Bradley Beal and stop him.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, like, it's one of those situations to me.
They say, oh, this person needs to be able to do this consistently all the time. It's like, hold on, slow down. That doesn't happen as often as you think.
Yeah.
Like a player getting 20 to 25. There's more players that average 20 to 25 points now than ever in the history of the game.
Yeah.
Because the game is more offensively orientated.
It used to be an anomaly, bro. Like averaging 25 used to be like, this mug's amazing.
Yeah.
Your top 10 scorer in the league.
I was gonna say.
You're a top 10 scorer in the league. Do you know that I gotta go back and look at it. But I think there's 3 or maybe 4 people over 30 points a game this season.
I would probably agree with that. No, it ain't way more. I think it's Giannis, Embiid.
Yeah. I think it's 5.
It's Dame,
Giannis, Embiid, Jason Tatum, Shea.
Shea.
I mean,
it might be 5. It's not way more. He said 4.
Because at one point it was at like 8. I think like I got to check, but I think
I mean, we got technology. I can look it up here.
Because it was at 8 at one point. Like eight people was averaging 30.
Oh, we've got Luka. Luka got 32.
Yeah.
Hold up. Let's see. So that's minutes per game.
1, 2, 3,
points
4,
per
5,
game.
6.
Why did
six people?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, here we go. There we go. So let's see. 1, 2, 3,
25
4, 5,
points a game
bro.
gets you 12th. You're 12th or lower.
And one guy at 29. Kevin Durant has 29 points. Oh no, Stephen Curry's at 29 points per game. So it's Embiid, Doncic, Dame, Shea, Giannis, Tatum. They're all above 30. Stephen Curry is averaging 29.4. We giving him the 0.6? Can we give him the 0.6?
Yeah, you can't give him the 0.6.
Can we get...
Stop being ahead. I'm giving him.
It's a 30-point club. You gotta have it. You gotta have it. You know? But all that being said, I just want to temper some people's like expectations because guess what? Like you could be a bucket, you could be that guy, but you don't expect to sit here and see this particular like. The other team gets paid to stop the guy that we have. So like just to do that. But I think this is the game in that respect. Now the one thing I will say is P will look great defensively. And I will say that because Billy Donovan made an adjustment. He made an adjustment. Can you believe that? He made an adjustment.
Made a great adjustment.
And it worked.
And Nick Nurse didn't adjust back.
Hey, yeah, I kind of see it, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think when people tell you, right? So I did previewed the show with Locked On Raptors. Did the show. Hayes did the show with the same dude, right? And like we had a bunch of Raptors fans in our chat last night during the game, and they were like, "Yeah, man, like we don't like Nick Nurse. He don't adjust. He doesn't, have very many offensive sets that like actually work. He just kind of let Fred VanVleet and Pascal do what they want." And like until somebody like says that to you, I think you don't, because I watch Nick Nurse's games, at least the ones I see, and I'm like, man, he coaching his butt off. But maybe I saw all the good ones, right? Like the games I saw. So this is what probably has happened too. The games I saw were like an adjustment needed to be made. It was like an adjustment on Giannis. You can't adjust to that. An adjustment on Embiid. You can't adjust it, right? Like, what adjustment you finna make that's gonna stop Joel Embiid or Giannis? So it's like, okay, but who's actually stopping that? But I can see things around it that were working. But I don't know, man. Like they hate that man up there. He's probably getting fired.
Didn't show up either.
He's probably getting fired. Zach did a good job on ball.
I doubt that.
No, like they legit.
This
is probably his last game.
Swap, they're fine.
And I think he knew going into this game that if he didn't win this game, it's probably his last game because of comments he made leading into the game. Like, we'll see where things lie at the end of the season. Like, he'll have a job tomorrow. New head coach of Orlando.
Don't you find it funny or interesting that the majority of the people who are homers or have their own particular teams, they always say the same thing about their coach?
Yes, bro, because most coaches in the NBA are the same. We've had this conversation on the show so often. There's like 5 guys.
Yeah, but I also say this. Most of us don't know what we're watching. Most of us don't know the game. Most of us don't know the game enough to even say that coach is a bad coach, right? And it's not until you really start digging deep and it's like, why did this happen? It wasn't until I started getting into why Billy did X, Y, Z that I was like, oh, no, Billy's a good coach.
He's a good coach.
That's
what I've always said. Like when you look at that's the part you have to look at why things break down. Right? Last night, why did things work? You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Why did things work last night versus when things have broken down? Well, the things worked last night because Patrick Williams played the way that we hoped that he would be able to play. The Toronto Raptors also missed a ton of free throws. The Bulls also didn't miss backdoor assignments in the second half. Right? Like the things that we've talked about. Like I asked Hayes this, and I'll ask the chat this. I'll ask y'all this. Did we see a different Bulls team last night?
No.
I saw a better Zach. That's all I saw.
But we've seen this Zach the entire second half of the season.
We've been seeing this Zach for the last 3 months.
He's been this Zach for the entire second half of the season.
We haven't seen Zach drop 40 on a team not named Detroit consistently.
Huh?
Bro. Like Zach in like the month of March had like 4 30-point games.
Like
Like, you know what I mean? Listen, he still didn't get 40. He got 39. But we're not giving him the point.
Not giving him the point.
We're not giving him the point out here. But no, like Zach LaVine, right? He was going to be, I think he was runner-up to Joel Embiid for Eastern Conference Player of the Month.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, Zach LaVine's been hooping. Like, I didn't see a different Bulls team last night. I saw a bunch of dudes that finally did their job. Kobe White came in and gave you the exact bench production we needed, and I thought we went away from him a little early. Thought DeMar kind of took that into his own hand, but he made his shots when he went away from him. But I saw a Bulls team that played the passing lane. I saw a Bulls team that when they needed to double team and had to cover the back door, they did it. I don't think we saw anything different than what we've seen when the Bulls beat Memphis, when the Bulls beat Boston, when the Bulls beat Milwaukee, when the Bulls beat. The problem with the Bulls is, are they going to do this versus Miami? That's the question.
No, not really. Well, you know.
Hey, listen, y'all finna get cooked.
Not only do I think they finna get cooked, but I mean, I think Miami's about to get cooked.
Hey,
the one thing I see is,
y'all know how
I don't
go.
see the reason I don't see what like your fellow Toronto co-hosts or whoever they are, no disrespect to them, is Nick Nurse can't make up for the fact that you missed 18 free throws. They lost by 4.
Yeah.
You lost by 4. Listen, if you go 80% from the free throw line, you win by over 10.
Hey, if OG Anunoby hit his free throws at the beginning of the game, because he missed like 5 straight.
You win by 10.
I believe that is the worst free throw performance of all time. Which, hey, listen, we got to bring this question to the chat as well. I hope I'm saying her name right. Nobody's like said her name. I'm assuming it's Diar, D-I-A-R, Diar. Is Diar DeRozan the greatest fan of all time? Because I don't think in my entire life, the greatest fans that we know, basketball history, whatever it is, outside of like maybe Boston fans just being racist.
That's a
It is what it is. Hey, many players have confirmed.
That does. It's not common out.
I don't think I've ever seen a fan affect a game. Like these are like you might get a missed free throw here or there by a guy or something like that, right? Like you might get a he's choking from the background, something like that, like, and it messes up a couple of free. I don't think they got a stat line for Shorty.
36 screams,
18 missed free throws, bro. She putting up Wilt numbers as a fan. Hey, and here's the thing, right? Here's my favorite part of all of this. At first, it's like, oh, that's cute. She trying to affect the game. But then by the end of it, you literally had to look at her and be like, hey, yo, I think she's really affecting the game. Like, she was timing up. She was timing up the screams. Like, she was like, her mom was talking to her. She was like, hold up. Like, bro, like legit, like, and she was varying the times. Like after rewatching it, I was like, oh, she figured out their tendencies, bro. She figured out their tendencies by the second half. She read the scouting report. She was like, watch this. On the release in the second half, Muzz was all over the place.
The crazy part is, why was the stadium so silent?
Bro,
I've never heard the stadium so silent for that to be impactful. Like I was just like, yo,
well, you
usually
usually don't cheer on your team's free throws. Like you cheer after, but you usually are quiet when your team is shooting free throws because you don't want to distract them.
Bro, I was
the whole game though.
I was like, man, I normally can hear people talking. Like it's 40, 50, 60,000 people in this. Why can't I hear her? Like, does she got a mic on? Like, what the heck? Like, that's what I was looking at. I was like, I can get it, but it's like, man, I've been in a lot of stadiums.
And I think her mom was talking to her too, just to let her know, like, you screaming my like this one more time.
But mom, it's working.
Right.
It's like, and then by the 8th free throw, you like keep screaming.
Hey, bro, legit. Like I don't think I've ever seen a fan really affect a game like that, bro. Like I was actually impressed by what we saw from DeMar DeRozan. I like, listen, Spike Lee affected it the wrong way. Like every time he talked to somebody, they got dunked on.
Your fault.
They got, yeah, I mean,
your fault.
Hey, listen, got mad
Mike's
numbers
55.
dropped. Reggie Miller, game winner.
Bron.
You know what I mean? Like Spike ain't never affected the game in a positive way. James Harden said one night, hey Philly, y'all can thank Kevin Hart for this 45 piece that your team got dropped on them. Because he had like 10 going into the half. Man dropped 35 in the second half on Philly because Kevin Hart was talking trash to him. He said, you can thank Kevin Hart. Or no, it wasn't, was it D-Wade? It might have been D-Wade.
Nah, that was James because he was like, tell your team what you did to him.
Yeah. Hey, bro. Hey, I know D-Wade has done it, bro. Like, I always hear about fans affecting the game in the wrong way. That was shout out to
the D-Wade game was a Charlotte playoff game because the fan was heckling him and we gamed him, I believe. And then he just looked at him like, "Hey, bro."
Alrighty then with the bar for me.
What already said?
Are too polite to cheer.
You said what?
Canadians are too polite to cheer. That is a bar. That's a bar. I'm sorry. You gotta. If you don't get the joke. I'm sorry.
Bro, that's crazy.
That's hey, it seemed like that though. Hey, if it ain't true, hey, I'm using this as evidence, man. But I want to get into the next half of this, man. I want to get into who we have to face because Miami is one of those teams where I don't. Are they more mid than Toronto?
Here's the thing, though. It's a one-game play-in. Right? Miami is very much like the Chicago Bulls. Tyler Hero gets hot, it's a long day. But you got to let Tyler Hero get hot. Don't give Tyler Hero them opportunities. You know what I mean? Like he's one of those players where, like, if he's on, he's on. Now, the one thing about Tyler Hero that we do know, when we talk about pressure busting pipes, Tyler Hero has not shown up in the big moments ever. Ever. Like I was impressed he got the contract. I'm not gonna lie to you.
He deserved it. He deserved it. Hey, listen, it's no way you giving Jordan Poole that bread before you give Tyler that bread, bro.
Yeah, Jordan Poole. The dude that
Jordan Poole is allowed to play a freer game.
Yeah, like what? Hero. Like Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole's a better player too.
Yeah,
like,
I'm just saying, like.
I wouldn't have used that as an analogy. Though,
that was a tough one, bro.
I mean, he deserved that money though. He deserved that money.
He deserved his money, but to say, would you pay him over? I don't think I would have did that.
No, I'm just saying he would have got.
It's a tough sell right there.
I think here's the thing, right? Like
he's 20 points. He's been 20 points a game for the last 2 seasons.
He's a good player. He really is. But
that's actually saying something.
And every single big moment for Miami, he's been the guy that hasn't shown up. Right? Like, and they rely on, like, he is the scoring. He is the offense. He can't be the guy that doesn't show up in these big moments. The only offense Miami has, because, right, like, I guarantee you, right, like, coming into this game, the mindset is same thing probably. Don't let DeMar get off. Or maybe you put Jimmy on Zach now. You say, don't let Zach get off because of Zach's performance in Toronto. Wherever you put Jimmy, that's it. That's your defense. And he's going to have his hand full.
I think what it is.
So
I give him a little more credit than that, dog, because I think one, especially this is for Steph at this point. I'll take Kyle Lowry over Fred VanVleet over the last 2 seasons. I really would.
You don't believe that. You don't even believe that.
Okay.
You don't even believe that.
Hold on. You ready?
Don't believe that. No.
I didn't make the statement for no reason. I'm gonna tell you. I didn't make the statement for no reason. What did Fred VanVleet shoot last night? He looked real good, didn't it? What did he shoot? Just take a guess.
I don't know, 45%.
36.
Hey.
What did Kyle Lowry shoot?
Hey, bro. That's one game, bro.
Hey, bro, that was Kyle Lowry's first 30-point game.
Look at Kyle Lowry last 10, bro.
Hey, bro.
Come on, bro.
Hey, bro.
He ain't even playing in most of his last 10.
He got hurt, got relegated to the bench, and got worse. He was averaging 12 when he started. He averaging 7 on the bench.
Well, that makes sense. coming off the bench.
But bro, he ain't been.
Hey, you thought that was a bar? He
ain't been doing nothing. This man ain't been doing nothing the last 2 months.
Okay. When you needed a bucket, where did you get it from?
Good job. You
no. It is a good job. That's what you pay your players to do.
I say this. He making a lot of money for that to be his first time scoring over 20 points since December.
Hey, I get you.
He making a lot of money for that to be his.
Bro,
here's the thing. Y'all know my feeling on Kyle Lowry. There's no world. Here's the thing. Kyle Lowry does often always cook when he plays against us because of our hate for him.
Go.
Nah, that's because you
said over the last 2 seasons you would take Kyle Lowry over Fred VanVleet.
Kyle Lowry in a big moment over Fred VanVleet. I absolutely would.
Yeah, but Kyle Lowry ain't gonna get
you
in
a big moment
no
he seems to do it.
Kyle Lowry ain't gonna get you to that big moment no more.
Tell me when Fred VanVleet got you to the big moment.
He got him to the playoffs last year. He was a huge part of why they got to the playoffs last year.
He was a great third man.
Third man on what?
He was a great third man. There's no way in the world somebody that inefficient was the reason you got to the playoffs. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ain't no way in the world. I don't believe it.
I
mean, no way in the world someone that inefficient got you to the playoffs. He helped. They all supposed to. You're supposed to help. That's your job. It's a team game. You're supposed to help. Let's put that to the side. But is he the reason? You out your mind. But hey, if this is the case, then Steph, what we doing the show for, dog? Like, why show up if you don't think if Kyle Lowry ain't gonna show up because he was the only person that showed up for you the other day?
But he does. I mean, I'm not lying.
We're gonna smack you at the crib.
He doesn't.
We're gonna smack you at the crib.
Okay.
And who's gonna roll and take the 8th spot?
Okay.
Look at what you just did. You done down Tyler Hero. You done down Kyle Lowry. Who else you got on your team?
When did I down Tyler Hero?
Well,
I down Tyler Hero.
Oh yeah,
when did I down
overemphasize his importance?
Hey, listen, no, because I think the thing is right. Like, if that's how we feel about Fred VanVleet, you gotta feel that way about Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero in the big moments, he 2 for 9 the other night. Tyler Hero, since that finals run, like in that finals, he was great, right? In the bubble. Bubble was a very different scenario. You could just focus on basketball. You get to cook. Outside of that bubble, we ain't seen Tyler Hero been that guy. He wasn't that guy in none of them. He wasn't that guy the entire playoff run last year.
Fred VanVleet, actually.
I don't know if I can say he's never been that guy because
he wasn't that guy the entire playoff run last year, bro.
The playoffs true, but I mean, season-wise,
the playoffs last year was not his.
Yeah, but bro, listen, I need you. I'm paying you for the playoffs. Like, listen, it's great that you can win a regular season game in the middle of July.
He did have 26 this
July.
first game.
I mean, you get paid for all of it. So in its totality,
you get paid for all of it, but your big money players are the guys that usually show up in the playoffs.
I mean,
unless you're Washington, although we do gotta touch on that. By the way, hey, look, that might be a bigger topic than the last segment. Kuz and Dinwiddie going at it.
I think what it is, though, in all honesty, when you talk about this game coming up, all three of our big three are averaging 20. Nobody on our benches stepped up at all.
Yeah, you got to. I will say this: y'all have the perfect collections of dudes that have all killed the Bulls at different times. You got Kevin Love on the bench.
Gabe Vincent,
you got Gabe Vincent on the bench. Max Strus. Like, it is a perfect collection of guys that have literally just killed the Bulls. But shout out to Tanner in this month, by the way, too, man. $10 super chat. Appreciate that love, bro. He said, "What up, fellas? VanVleet does have a way better haircut between the two, though." LOL, JK.
Hey, he has a better beard, I'll tell you that much.
Kyle Lowry got a beard.
The only one with the beard.
You gonna say Kyle Lowry with a beard? He got good beard.
I will say the last 2 seasons he been shooting barely 40%.
Now here's what I will say.
Yeah, it's all all of his shots. He's one of those players where it's like, man, he do shoot terrible. Why he shoot so terrible? And then you look, you be like, oh, this man only shoot threes.
So they be rainbow threes too.
He shoot 40% from the field, but he shoot 38% from the 3-point line. So it's it's like, oh, you just shoot threes. That's all you do.
Yeah, at his height, it might be the thing. The one thing I will say, the biggest issue with Miami is kind of what we had initially. You don't have consistent deep ball threats, and because of that, it's easy to game plan for you. We know Jimmy's not taking that three. He's a more aggressive DeMar DeRozan. Jimmy is not taking a consistent three. I'm not saying he can't, but that's just not his game.
Yeah,
I'm gonna back you down. I'm gonna get to the bucket.
Yeah.
When you have that, and you have the type of player Tyler Hero is, he's easy to game plan for.
Yep.
So when we sit here and we say that, I know we're saying it in passing and joking and stuff like that, but I really want people to look at the game because Tyler Hero has gotten better. But in playoff situations, I know exactly where you're gonna be because you're the only one that can do it. And if you're the only one that can do it, I know exactly how to stop. I'm gonna rush you. I'm gonna make sure he ain't got that game yet where he could just sit there and come off that screen in full motion and hit that JJ Redick three. He can't do that just as consistently yet.
Yeah, he does it from time to time, but it's not consistent.
It's not consistent.
Yeah.
But when he had Duncan Robinson on the other end and people were scared of leaving him open, you didn't rush him as much. So he looked a lot better. Like Steph looks good. He's great, but he looks a lot better when you got Clay on the other side. It's like I can't do anything with it. Now Steph's still Steph, don't get me wrong. But when they first started to get that snowball rolling, it was because Steph was one of the most wide open people in the league. Clay was number 2. Why?
Yeah.
Because you were so focused on one or the other.
Yep.
You had no choice. You don't have that setup for Tyler Hero. So if they figure that part out, I think we'd be having a different conversation. We kind of expect Tyler Hero to do something that he doesn't. That's just not his game. Like we're expecting him to be a mid-range, break you down off the dribble player. And it's like we don't expect Klay Thompson to do that.
No, but you know what? I think the weird part is, right, like what I do expect is kind of what the Toronto Raptors did, and I don't think we see that enough either, right? Like, why aren't you running double screens for this dude all game?
They can't.
Why can't you? I run a double screen to pop Tyler Hero open. At the top of that screen, the person that the Bulls have coming off of that is Nikola Vucevic. The person that most teams have coming off of that is your center, which puts Tyler Hero on a center. Who's got the advantage?
No, I hear what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like I don't
Tyler
see
Hero's not beating you off the dribble.
That's true, but
Tyler Hero, if I close out well enough, he's not blowing past me because that's just not his skill set, right? Like I mean, I don't want to say skill set. That's not his physical ability. He's not gifted physically to sit there and just blow past you. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm not saying he's not he doesn't have the handle, but like that's just not his game.
Yeah.
So like what happens when I sit there, I set this double screen, I force everybody up. Somebody else is out of position. Now Bam is taking a longer too, potentially. Like because everyone's up to get this double screen up. So it's just like it's one of those things where getting like Kevin Love was a big move because Kevin Love can shoot threes.
Kevin Love can
and he's a big body.
Yeah. But it's supposed to play him.
I'm worried about Kevin Love if I'm the Bulls because Kevin Love can shoot threes. Kevin Love can like he really can. He can spread that floor and let Jimmy go to work and stuff like that. He's that consistent shooter. That's the one thing about it. So I'm probably giving Miami way more credit than I need to, but I also don't want to be the guy that like kills them.
That is realistic though. Like it's not giving them more credit than what they deserve, right? Like listen, the storyline is perfect. Jimmy Butler going up against the Chicago Bulls, the first team that he was drafted by to let him go, and he's got a reason to be pissed off because of something that happened 10 years ago. Jimmy's still holding on to that grudge. We know Jimmy don't let go of grudges. Yeah, I mean, like
what happened to? Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
Because Garpax traded him away. They said you could never win with him. Made the playoffs next year. Been to 2 ECFs in the NBA Finals since then. Turned around every team that he went to. You know what I mean? Like,
I love it.
Hey, listen, Garpax, you got it wrong. Well, you got it wrong. It worked out. It worked out 10 years later when Zach LaVine kind of started to turn himself into a star. But it took a while.
It ain't worked at all because we ain't in the playoffs yet. Let's be real.
We'll see if it's working. But I just think that, right, like, the weird part about this season that is different from last season is Miami's depth. And I listen, I know Jimmy Butler's going to show up in the moment. I just do. I'm pretty sure Bam Adebayo is going to show up in the moment. I don't know if the rest of the team is ready for that pressure. And that's why you need to play a guy like Kevin Love, because you know he can handle the pressure. I would have Kevin Love in the starting lineup if I'm Eric Spoelstra. I'd have Kevin Love playing the 4. He don't got to play heavy minutes, but I want to start the game off with my best mentally strong lineup.
Yeah,
because I don't think there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that y'all rely on that just haven't been.
They ain't been good.
And here's the thing: it's not that they haven't been in the moment, but they've been bad in the moment.
Yeah, not that's fact. I think. I mean, at the end of the day, I really honestly feel like this game is going to come down to who the other steps up, because everybody pretty much, like, your big three can score. I just got done telling y'all each of our big three also averaged 20 plus.
Yep.
It's pretty much going to come down to the others. Who's going to be those two guys or a guy to step up in the moment when you need them to?
X factor for me in this game is going to be Kobe White. I hate to say that, but it's going to be Kobe White. X factor for Miami, in my opinion, Victor Oladipo.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Victor Oladipo didn't get a lot of tick in that last game. Don't know why, but downhill, he's still a hard player to stop. And when you only got one game, if Spoelstra plays him right, I mean, no one's can really stand in front of him.
Nah, he has the ability to do. He has the ability to do it. It's just about him getting the right opportune minutes.
Yeah, you don't have to score a lot of points to be an X factor. You need to score timely buckets.
And
if he can get timely buckets,
why
that
does
shifts a lot.
I just don't get it. Why doesn't he get the minutes?
Because I have no idea, bro.
Because he for some reason, it's like between him and Caleb Martin, and then like he just has these like brain fights where he's like, okay, well, we're gonna decide to put Caleb at the 4 for some odd reason. It's I don't know. I really don't, because he has the ability to, but then it's like sometimes when he is out there, Vic does kind of shrink. But then he also does have the ability to go out there and still get you 20 to 25 on a decent night.
Yeah.
So it's just
played nearly 30 minutes and put up 0 points. He had
bro. Caleb Martin is out there for defense. That's it. And I think Spo is taking the Tom Thibodeau approach on this one. Hey Vic, you're not even gonna try to stand in front of the dude in front of you. Can't be on the court.
Let me ask you this, Pat. Who do you think had the better defensive performance between the two?
Well, Vic only played 9 minutes, so
he was out there getting active.
Yeah, Vic had 9 minutes in a block.
Caleb
had 28 minutes and didn't register one steal or block. So I mean, it's like, hey, listen. I know. I mean,
he's an on-ball defender. Yeah, I mean, but it was.
I'm being stupid on that one, but
it's just. I don't know, man. Like Miami's lineup, I don't get it. Here's the thing: there's a bunch of dudes on that lineup I'm scared of going off, because we know the Bulls, right? There's a bunch of dudes on that lineup that I'm like, Victor Oladipo could go off for 30. I don't know about Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry could go off for 30 because he just did it. I give him his credit. He coming off a good game.
I gotta see it again.
He coming off a good game. I give him his credit, right? Jimmy Butler could go off for 30. Bam could go off for 30. Like, there's a bunch of guys on that team that I look at. Heck, and without a Bulls play, right, they could put Duncan Robinson in for the first time in a month, and he could go off for 30, and all of a sudden he's got his confidence back, right? Like, there's a bunch of guys that I look at, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a little nervous going into this game. But I'm not going to lie. I don't think that Spo has really put these guys in the best position to win.
I agree.
I watched that game the other night, and I was like, what the heck is Spo doing? Like, he said, I'm just living this season off my legacy. Like, we in the play-in, bro. We ain't going nowhere. Like, shout out to UD. Let me get UD back in this month. Yeah, I mean, you got one more 25-point game, and like, I don't know, man. Miami's going to be interesting.
Yeah. The interesting thing about it is both coaches, Spo and Billy Donovan, have clearly shown their roster. They showed you who they were running with so far. I say that to say, outside of Victor Oladipo, nobody had over 3 minutes, and that's saying Kevin Love, who can get them a bucket, actually got them a bucket, but he only played 3 minutes. That's funny. He got in, got them a bucket, and then went right back to the bench. That's crazy. Yeah, that this is gonna be a coaching game. Who can make the adjustment, and does the adjustment stick?
Hey, if this is a coaching
Because outside
game,
of that,
I still say we on the losing end.
Honestly,
I still say Spo the better coach.
It's gonna be whoever falls in love with good habits.
That's a bar. I like that.
Yeah, y'all do get. Oh yeah, because that's a great way to put it.
Neither team falls in love with good habits.
That's a great way to put it, because like when I look at the Bulls last night, like I said, I don't see a different Bulls team than last night. I saw a Bulls team that did the job that they're supposed to do. I've also seen that same Bulls team just not make those plays. You know,
I know we broke down a lot of Miami, but Patrick Beverly got to give me more than 3 points.
You know what though?
Beverly got to be better.
Pat Bev gave me what I needed when I needed Pat Bev to give what he offers. It's the defense. In that fourth quarter, Pat Bev stepped up more on the defensive end. I thought he did a much better job on Fred VanVleet, who when you go back and look at it, even here's the thing.
Fred VanVleet had a lot of wide open shots. He just missed.
A lot of wide open shots. No, Pat Bev was on him in that fourth though. In that fourth, Fred VanVleet didn't have wide open shots. Fred VanVleet was going from Patrick Beverly to P. Will, which had that man
on that switch,
living in a bad day off of that switch, right? But
he was in the gulag on that switch.
He was in the gulag when P. Will was in the game. But I think it's funny. It's literally a play running right now where Pat Bev literally just stood in front of him. But I think that the thing is, right, like I'm not asking. This is the part that I'm done with. We got to stop asking players to do what they don't do. I don't need Pat Bev here for offense. I need Pat Bev here for leadership, unfortunately. And I need him there for defense. And I saw that at the end of that game, right, where he's the one still putting guys in position. All right, let's go here. Let's make this. He's the one switching 1 through 5. Pat Bev is switching 1 through 5. That's your problem, right? Like that's what like once you get to the 3, you like, hey man, a little tall for you, ain't he? You know what I mean? Like, I thought that the guys that when they were doing their job fit perfectly in this system. And that's when the Bulls play their best. Zach LaVine got to be a shooting guard last night. Pat Bev got to be a defensive anchor. Because early on in the game, right, like Pat Bev came out, I think he took like 2 of the first 3 shots. I was like, hey, that ain't the formula.
I give this man credit. Let me make sure I say this right. Because shout out to Alex Caruso. That's what I saw last night.
3 key defensive stops in a row.
AC was hooping. AC was hooping.
3 steals, 3 blocks. Yeah, 3 steals, 3 blocks, 1 turnover. Normally, I've cooked them because you got like 3-4 turnovers. You're not the primary ball handler. You're not giving me that type of production on defense, which is why you're here. But he showed up in a big way, and I didn't give him enough. So to me, Alex Caruso is the defensive clamp outside of P. Will that I was like, yo, that's why he's here. That's why his plus minus looks the way it does. Like
that's why Billy goes with this lineup. I know people hate it, right? But the lineup wasn't a problem last night. I don't know because Billy was talking about rebound. I asked Hayes this. I was like, was Billy Donovan right? Like, were the Bulls just like not using good technique? He was like, no, because he was talking about rebounding. The Bulls still got out rebounded. But realistically, the Bulls got out rebounded last night because they missed so many shots. The Bulls got out rebounded 50-36. Got out rebounded on the offensive glass 16-8.
They out rebounded, period.
So many shots that it literally just like helped in the other direction. And I don't know, man. Like I get what Billy's doing with that lineup. I still am not a fan of it. I'm more of a fan of it versus the team that we're about to play than I was versus Toronto, but it worked out.
I think,
but it's also about what we asked.
A bigger bar than you think, but it works in Toronto's favor.
What?
Like, yeah, they missed a lot of shots. Toronto got a lot of rebounds because they missed a lot of shots. But Toronto took 1 more shot than Chicago. But they out-rebounded us by 14. For all intents and purposes, we should have lost that game.
Yeah.
They lost that game because they had a pathetic free throw showing.
Well, for sure. Listen, if you make 5 more free throws, you win the game. Absolutely.
23 for 36 from the free throw line. You win a game.
Yeah.
That's wild. The Bulls, by the way, shot 18 for 22.
Yeah.
So the simple fact, like, it even looks like
the free throw discrepancy is crazy.
Oh, God. Like, what is that? It was almost double.
Gucci was tweaking out there. Oh, my God. And then when they changed that Siakam call,
bro,
that was just bad. That was just bad.
I promise you, it was bad, but I'm telling you, it was one look where, like, it was the first time that they was going through the replays. It was the second look on the first time that was going through the replays. I guarantee you that's the look that they were looking at, and he kind of looked like he fouled him.
Hey, my boy.
He kind of looked like he fouled him.
Listen. He fouled him. He fouled him. Atlas Caruso landed on him. He fouled him. The issue wasn't the foul. He fouled him on the floor.
He looked like he was in the shot motion. Yeah, he looked like he was in the shot motion.
Oh, no. It's because he brought that whole ball down, pump fake, went to go back up. Like, nah, I wouldn't.
But I promise you that's what they was looking at.
I was that buddy here. You said what?
See, it says 18 to 36 sounds like Baldo line to me. Hey, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Hey.
That's a bar. Hey, hold on. Where's the arrow? Hey, Don DeMarco. Hey, that is a bar.
Don't let that be Miami, though, because I don't know about the
Jimmy
ball
gonna make them.
twice.
Hey, Jimmy gonna make them. Yeah. Let's not do that. Jimmy gonna make them
out
joints.
the entire way at the free throw. You gonna put me at the line? You thought this was? Y'all traded me? All right,
hey, man, before we get out of here, man, we appreciate you guys for showing love to the channel. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Hey, I say they got an interview out with Shaq and Gary Payton talking about the reason that Pat Riley got rid of them. I laughed so hard. Shaq said Pat would be sitting in the huddle drawing up the play, and Gary would look at the play and be like, man, I ain't running that. I'm giving it to the big fella. Bro.
He said, I'm too old. We gotta keep it easy.
I'm too old to be running plays, bro. I've been in the league too long. I'm giving it to the big fella. He said they won that ring. He got him up out of there, bro.
Let me get that to him.
I'd be dying. Anything else y'all want to wrap up real quick, man? I mean, listen, Kyle Kuzma, bars. You want to talk about bars? Don DeMarco.
Cook that man.
Hey, cooked Spencer Dinwiddie. If y'all didn't get an opportunity to see it, Kyle Kuzma had a tweet thread because Spencer Dinwiddie went on FanDuel TV and basically was like, he doesn't care about basketball. He just cares about money. Look at how he's doing, how he dresses, how he comes out. He's a celebrity, blah, blah, blah. Kyle Kuzma went on like a 7-tweet rant where he literally destroyed Spencer Dinwiddie the entire time. He called him insecure. Kyle Kuzma said, my insecurity is loud. The Wizards and I have so much real estate in Dinwiddie Island, which is a bar. This guy got signed by a team for 60 M's that was traded before the following season was over. Tough.
He was hitting that man with facts, too.
Hey, 2, what have you won? What in the world have you won in the league? You've been bounced around like a basketball, my boy. 3, you could thank KD and Kyrie for spearheading 34 wins because he was bragging on the fact that they win the playoffs and Washington wasn't.
And that wasn't even that was on
for spearheading 34 wins before the All-Star break, 11-13 after the break for your playoffs. 4, second option, more like second point guard. LOL, my man, I watched you for 2 months at the end of your Wizards tenure being the second option. Average 8, 4, and 4. Sounds good, but glad you hoop it now. 5, yep, I got a bag coming. Stop hating, bro. He does. Kyle Kuzma's probably going to get a 20 mil 4-year deal. Or a 20 mil per 4-year deal somewhere, bro. He's probably got 80 mil coming his way at a minimum. Maybe
I think he's at 110, bro.
You giving Kyle Kuzma $25 million a year?
Yeah.
For 4?
Yeah, I'm gonna give Kyle Kuzma $25 million a year.
25.
25 is crazy.
$25 million a year.
25 is crazy.
The difference between Kyle Kuzma and the Stars is $20 million at 25 a year.
Hey, listen. This is the best bar though. He said, and last but not least, the only way you'll ever be worth your contract is if the NBA finally gives you your wish and finally starts paying you in crypto. Check the markets with the emoji of the stock going down. Enjoy the clicks. Go Sixers. So, boys, with 3 minutes to go, have we all but confirmed Kyle Kuzma to the Sixers next year? Is that what we seeing here? Because they need to absolutely move on from PJ Tucker. Just let Tobias go. At this point,
let Tobias go.
Stop hindering that man, bro.
Hey, hashtag free Tobias.
Free Tobias, bro.
Hey, Chicago will take him.
Bro, I would take Tobias Harris. You want to know why? Because he actually would be allowed to, like, be a player.
Chicago. You want me to score? I have to ask Doc first.
Hey, I think all that shows is Kyle Kuzma is so petty that he's willing to root for the Sixers, even though he probably doesn't like half the people on that team, just so the Nets don't win.
Hey, I want to see Kuz to the Sixers, bro. That's a nasty tandem right there. That's a better tandem than what they tried to build in Washington, basically. It's Kuz with a nice big man, except it's not Kristaps Porzingis.
Hey, it was working for like a month.
Honestly, it worked until Bradley Beal went down. It worked until Bradley Beal went down. Once Bradley Beal went down, the season was over.
Because Kristaps came back with the stash and was like, oh, hey, keep this.
Hey, this about to kill him. He came back with the stash like this about to kill him. And then
breaking him off.
It killed the season.
Hey, people was trying to cook me and said they no way I'm paying Kyle Kuzma 25 M's. He's 21.7 rebounds. You get 25 M's in this league with 21 points and 27 rebounds.
Hey, he said he said he get allowed 7 rebounds.
Hey, he getting allowed 7. He's getting allowed 7.
He would have allowed 2 rebounds yesterday if we didn't.
Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Make sure if you haven't done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So make sure you are here breaking down this game even further. For the pettiest man alive, Mr. P Kid, I am Pat the Designer. We got Stefan the Don bringing up the rear. As always, man, y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. One love. Peace.